It appears Gypsy Rose Blanchard's books have been removed from the shelves of the Garden District bookshop not even 24 hours after she held a book signing at the location.
Okay, so get this. Gypsy Rose's new memoir, My Attempt to Stand, has already been pulled from shelves at the Garden District bookshop. And this is the same place where she just had a big book signing, like 2 days ago. Everyone's buzzing about it, and the million-dollar question is, why was the book removed so suddenly?
It appears Gypsy Rose Blanchard's books have been removed from the shelves of the Garden District bookshop not even 24 hours after she held a book signing at the location. Now, I'm sure several of you heard of the book signing which took place in New Orleans at the Garden District bookshop.
What makes it even sketchier is that the bookstore hasn't posted anything about the event on their Instagram except for the one post announcing it. No follow-up pics, no fan reactions, nothing.
Yesterday, attendees had the chance to meet Gypsy Rose Blanchard and get a copy of her new memoir. I attended this book signing event where they had several signs displaying and advertising Gypsy Rose and her book.
Isn't that strange? So, naturally, my mind is spinning with theories, and I'm sure you're curious too. First of all, could this all be some over-the-top PR stunt? Think about it. Gypsy, her team, and Lifetime, they've been backing her since her release.
A specialty cocktail for Gypsy Rose, the Gypsy Rose Espresso Martini. However, I went back to the bookstore today and there was not a sight of Gypsy Rose's book. I looked all over the bookstore and it appears
might have cooked up this whole drama to grab attention. Like, what if those long lines of people at the signing were actually paid extras? Makes sense, right? And wasn't everyone supposed to get a photo op with Gypsy? Funny thing, I haven't seen a single pic of anyone with her from that event.
As if Gypsy Rose's book was never even sold there. No signs were remaining advertising Gypsy Rose's appearance at the bookstore. The Gypsy Rose Espresso Martini was removed from the menu. And I looked all over the bookstore for...
Have you? If you have, spill the tea because I've seen zilch so far. Another possibility? Maybe the signing was real, but the bookstore got hit with a ton of backlash. Let's face it, Gypsy has her fair share of haters.
Any copies of Gypsy Rose's memoir, which is supposed to be available at this bookstore, and it's not there. As you see here, there's a signed book section of this bookstore, and Gypsy Rose's book is not there. So do you think this book signing event was one big publicity stunt? And my question,
especially from people who think she's unapologetic about her mom's murder. Hosting her might have brought in too much negative attention, and the store could have decided it wasn't worth the drama. Honestly, I get it. There were even protesters outside during the event. It wasn't a massive protest, but still. That's not the kind of publicity any business wants. And let's not ignore the reviews of her book.
do you think the bookstore was paid to host this event? Because clearly not even the bookstore is a supporter of Gypsy Rose. Not even 24 hours after holding an event, a book signing for Gypsy Rose Blanchard's memoir.
They're brutal. It's getting slammed for being full of excuses and lies, with loads of one-star ratings, calling it a total disaster. And don't even get me started on the content of the book itself. People are dragging it for being graphic and inappropriate, saying it glorifies Gypsy's version of events while trashing her late mom. Critics are out here asking why this book is even being sold.
The bookstore has no Gypsy Rose books on the shelves. What do you think about this? Did you attend Gypsy Rose's book signing? And can you believe that the bookstore has apparently already removed her books from the shelf?
Like, in Louisiana, you can't buy The Handmaid's Tale, but this gets a pass? It's wild. Then there's all the ongoing drama surrounding Gypsy's past. People still bring up how she groomed Nicholas Godejohn, the guy who helped her murder her mom. He's in prison for life, or she's out here signing books. It's a lot to unpack. Gypsy Rose's defense attorney, Mike Stemfield, is being heavily criticized for allegedly helping her refine her story and capitalize on what many consider a heinous crime, conspiring to commit murder. People are accusing him of playing a key role in shaping Gypsy's narrative and aiding her in profiting from the tragedy. Critics are also warning that her new book is filled with explicit content, graphic depictions, and harmful fantasies, making it unsuitable for children. Many believe the memoir goes too far in slandering her late mother, Didi Blanchard. Gypsy even brings up claims about her father, mocking him for allegedly having had sex with her mother only 3 times.
It's definitely wrong to
The backlash is intense, with some saying that Gypsy's words are an outright attack on a woman who can no longer defend herself. As one commenter put it, "Dead women can't tell the truth." Many are furious that Gypsy continues to portray herself as a victim while blaming others: her mother, her father, Nicholas Godejan, and even her grandparents.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Her late mother, Didi, was never officially diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy, despite Gypsy's repeated claims. Critics argue that all of Gypsy's accusations should be taken as unverified because Didi isn't alive to refute them. Gypsy is being accused of using books, interviews, social media, and TV appearances to push her version of the story while demonizing everyone else involved. I really wanted to see the whole story, but a few days ago I went to the police station in Sakpur and there I found this. Gypsy's new book has been described by critics as deeply problematic, with explicit content, graphic depictions, and disturbing fantasies that make it unsuitable for younger audiences. Some have gone as far as to warn against allowing the memoir in homes with children, arguing that it glorifies violence and manipulation. Beyond its content, many are outraged by Gypsy's relentless accusations against her late mother, Didi. In the books, she drags her mother's reputation further through the mud, mocking her father for allegedly only having had sex with Didi 3 times.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is in New Orleans for a book signing of her new memoir, My Time to Stand. She sat down with the Times-Picayune to discuss the writing process and what life looks like as she prepares to welcome her first daughter into the world.
Very different from any of the documentaries or anything because...
And painting herself as a victim of her mother's supposed abuse. However, it's important to note that Didi was never officially diagnosed with Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a condition Gypsy uses as the foundation for her justification. Critics argue this makes Gypsy's accusations questionable at best and defamatory at worst. A significant point of contention is that Didi can no longer defend herself.
In documentaries, you have a production company that controls the questions being asked, what they decide to put in the documentary, whereas my memoir is literally my voice. And
commenters online have voiced their frustration, with one bluntly stating, "Dead women can't tell the truth." Gypsy is being accused of weaponizing her story to frame herself as a survivor, while portraying everyone else, her mother, her father, Nicholas Godejan, and even her grandparents, as villains.
I get to choose what I talk about, how in-depth I want to go with it, and be very vulnerable and share my truth. And it's the one thing, like my mom's side of the family.
This pattern of blaming others while avoiding accountability has made her a polarizing figure. One commenter even went as far as to say, Gypsy doesn't deserve a single cent for this so-called book of lies and deception. Adding to the controversy is the fact that Gypsy's book has been pulled from shelves at the Garden District bookshop just days after her signing event.
Never approved of a lot of the documentaries or the TV shows being made. However, they always were supportive of me writing a book. You don't get to pick and choose what stories become viral.
The timing has sparked speculation, with many wondering if the decision was a result of public backlash or something more sinister. The signing itself faced protests, albeit small, but the negative attention might have been enough to pressure the bookstore into distancing itself from her, from sure she'd rate a bleaker story than much for her young kids. One place I'll tell you about is the scrap. The internet has also been buzzing with hashtags like Justice for Didi and Free Nicholas Godejohn.
Or well known.
When we asked her what she was most excited for in motherhood, she said she's looking forward to watching her daughter grow.
I feel like in a sense it's healing the inner child within me, while also giving.
As people debate whether Gypsy's portrayal of the events is honest or manipulative. Adding to the skepticism, many notice that there hasn't been much evidence of the book signing itself. While Gypsy's team promised signed books and photo ops, very few if any photos have surfaced online. This has fueled theories that the entire event may have been staged to make her seem more relevant than she actually is. Some speculate that Lifetime, which has long been involved in promoting Gypsy's story, might have orchestrated the event to maintain public interest in her narrative and bolster book sales.
Her happy life.
But preparing for a baby isn't always easy as a celebrity.
Being in the public eye makes it a lot more challenging, so I've had to think of things.
However, with mounting criticism and overwhelmingly negative reviews, the book is being called a complete disaster by readers, with many vowing not to purchase it. To make matters worse, Gypsy's legal troubles continue to haunt her public image. Her relationship with Nicholas Godejohn, the man she allegedly groomed to murder her mother, remains a central topic in the controversy. While Nicholas is serving a life sentence, Gypsy has moved on, profiting from the story and garnering media attention. This imbalance has reignited calls for justice, with some arguing that Gypsy manipulated Nicholas as much as she claims her mother manipulated her. The backlash against her book is palpable. One person commented that Gypsy doesn't deserve a single cent for her book of lies and deception, while others are calling for justice for Didi and freedom for Nicholas Godejohn, who is serving a life sentence for his role in the crime. The hashtag Justice for Didi is gaining traction online as people express their frustration with Gypsy's portrayal of the events.
In order to protect her. So I made it very clear that I don't want her to be in the media. I won't be sharing pictures with her on the internet, or of her on the internet once she's born. I won't be, exposing her to that life because it is a life of scrutiny.
Adding fuel to the fire, an interview with Gypsy surfaced shortly before her book signing, sparking even more debate about her intentions and the authenticity of her story. With the book now pulled from shelves, many are speculating about what led to this decision. Was it public backlash, legal issues, or something else entirely? So what do you think? Why do you think her book was pulled so quickly? Let me know your thoughts, and thanks for watching and subscribing to our channel for such great news.